Hey Gemini, Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings. Take what works, leave what doesn't. Check your other major placements if you want. Hit that like button and of course the subscribe button. It helps other people find the channel and gives me a little thrill. And also the other thing I wanted to tell you is that my schedule got a little out of control, as schedules do around the holidays. And so I'm going to be rolling out these videos a little more slowly than I'm used to and you're used to. And that's going to be okay. We're going to be fine. We're starting, of course, with that card. We're starting, of course, with the Oracle decks for an intuitive start to this, and then we're going to move on to the Muse Tarot for a more traditional tarot spread. I don't want to take all these. I'll take the top and the bottom. Fine, I'll take the bottom too. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, let me put my mic on. At least this time I'm not stepping on it. Poor Pisces last week. Stepping on my mic the whole time. So they really heard nothing. Okay. Okay. Wow. Long-term commitments. That's what we've got going on here. Some very long-term commitments. We've got a long way home here. You've already upped anchor. You've already made a commitment to something. You're heading something, and it looks like there's probably a companion here off in the distance. You're not together right now. There might be a long-distance relationship going on, or there's just some place where you're going, where you're headed. It's just going to take a long time. Your mode of transportation is not it's not gas. It's not anything where you're moving it. This is the direction, the speed, all of that is up to the divine. It's up to the wind. It's up to spirit to come through and move you, and hopefully move you. You're hoping to move in the same direction. This is sort of a caravan of love. We're not in the same vehicle as this other person. We've already made some sort of commitment. It's time to sort of get comfortable here and get comfortable with uncertainty. Get comfortable with uncertainty. You are headed someplace comfortable, someplace you love, someplace you've dreamed of. You are headed there. There's just a lot of uncertainty between here and there, and you might not make it exactly to the target that you want. You might overshoot, you may undershoot, you may be near this other person or this other entity here, but you've made a commitment already to this path. So going back now. You're not, even if you did decide to land right now, you wouldn't be landing in the same spot you were. You're further along than that. So really getting comfortable and embracing the uncertainty and the length of this journey that you're on. My dear friend, this is someone that maybe has been with you, or an idea. So this can be ideas or other people, but with my dear friend, I always do get sort of a long-term relationship vibe. Those two together really speak about that. This is someone that's been with you for a long time. You've grown together. You maybe haven't been together every single step of the way. There might have been some distance between you at some points, but here, this is referencing a relationship that's been maybe decades long, decades in the making. Some sort of connection here to, could be a career path, could be something that you've been devoted to for a very long time. And your minds, you might even have similar minds, and your minds might even work in a very similar way. So both of these talk about long haul commitments. And this one doesn't necessarily talk about a commitment. This one you really definitely up anchored. This one, this was almost a gift that was given to you a long time ago. It's not even, it doesn't even feel like commitment. It just feels like this is part of your life. This is just part of your life. It's not even a choice that you made. This one had a choice. This other thing feels like it just is. It just is part of your life. And then show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius. So Aquarius is an air sign about communication, and we're the water bringers. So I have Aquarius in my major placements. So we're water bringers. We bring the emotion, bring the feelings, communicating those feelings, those deep emotions. And this is like a full, complete, really actually communicate your truth here. Show the world the real you. You're going to have to communicate some kind of truth. It's time to take action. New moon in Aries. Can't get more of a it's time card here. These cards will always tell you if there's time, if it's time critical, and this says it's time critical. It's right now, it's very much time for you to share. Maybe this other person doesn't even know how committed or how much a part of their life that they really a part of your life that they really are. They may not know that. You may need to share that. You may have made a commitment to something, and you may need to share the depth of that commitment, or the depth of your ability to go through these ups and downs and this uncertainty with or for this other person or this other thing. It looks like right now is a key time to commit to that activity, to communicating your dedication to something. And that, when you have a job and you get a new employee and you have no idea how that new employee, like how long they're going to last, what they're there for, how should you really get to know them? Are they just there for a little bit? Are they just passing through? There may be some certainty about that on the other end, and you may need to communicate that you are really how interested you are in the long haul, how interested you are in having some length and breadth to this relationship, or to this job. Could be just communicating your commitment to something. Or your intentions, showing the real you. If you don't have much commitment, show that too, because that's an important thing for other people to know as well. Trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? So there's something here that's quiet. There's something inside you that that you sense, and it's a little bit quiet. It could even be this commitment. It could even be that you see this thing as lasting a long time in your life. But there's something, trust the niggle. There's some kind of, you're getting some sort of intuitive hit, maybe some sort of intuitive vibe about something, and you really need to listen to it and trust it and allow it. There's part of you that sees something that some other part of you isn't wanting to see right now. All right, Gemini. Oh, shit. Okay, well, as an overall for the reading, we have the Magician. You have all the tools you need, bringing something into fruition, tapping into some sort of energy, some sort of manifestation ability, making something happen that you've wanted to make happen for a very long time. And that's going to happen now. Or you're going to be able to make something happen. But you have to talk about it. You have to talk honestly about something. And now you have this power right now to make something come to fruition, or to have a dream come to fruition. All right, Gemini. This is your past, your present, your inner landscape. What's at issue, your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. Yeah, that to-do list is making a lot of sense. Let's see. Overall, we have you wrestling with something that's holding you back, controlling you, but in the end, revealing something and making some important choices and decisions about. There's soulmate here too. So I don't usually do soulmate readings, but we've got like 3 cards about long-term commitment. I don't know how else I'm supposed to read this. So this could also be long-term commitment to career, to a passion. So I'm going to try to keep it open for people that are dealing with, because obviously not every Gemini that watches this is going to be dealing with a soulmate issue this week. So it could be something else, or go check your other major placements maybe, if this isn't you. So we have in your recent past, Queen of Emotions. This is a lot of this. Show the world the real you. This is somebody getting in touch with their inner, how they truly feel, really starting to understand that. There's something in your past. In your past recently, you have gotten in touch with how you really feel. This could have started off a long-term commitment. This could be, really feeling connected to somebody, but these were feelings that came to the surface, a depth of complex feelings coming to the surface, and you starting to see and understand how you feel. Or this could be somebody in your environment, in your recent past, that has started to see and understand how they feel. The Queen is going to be very in touch with her inner universe, and that inner universe is going to be an array of intense and complex emotions and feelings that this person is in touch in, maybe even trying to communicate them, offering an emotional connection or an emotional message of some kind, but really bringing in, really feeling and being inspired by complex and powerful emotions, and understanding them and coming to know them. In your current situation, these emotions surfaced, and now what we have is 5 of emotions. We have 5 of emotions here. This is frozen in time. Some sort of grief has been frozen in time, and these emotions surfaced recently, and now things are starting to flow, but there might be a lot of tears. There might be a lot of crying. Something got frozen in time. This always reminds me of Aang at the beginning of the last Airbender, or the Avatar, the last Airbender. You know, he's frozen for 100 years, but when he comes back, it's almost like the timing is perfect. Like he was meant to be frozen for 100 years, because once he starts moving, once he starts flowing, it's absolutely necessary. And would it have been necessary if he hadn't been frozen that long? I don't know. But anyway, he comes back at exactly the right time. So we have sort of a sense here of, one of the teens is back. So we have a sense here of having been frozen in time, some sort of grief that got stuck, that got frozen. There was no flow here, and now we're starting to flow. Now that's starting to thaw and flow and move through. And so these emotions came up, and whew, now they're flowing. Now we've got some, and something that got frozen there, some sort of sorrow, some sort of hurt, some sort of pain that was, you were frozen in sort of a very painful place, and now it's starting to flow. Now you're starting to let those feelings go and starting the healing process here. You could be just beginning that. 5 of emotions could be talking about currently being frozen, but the flow is going to be happening. You had a lot of intense emotions back here, a lot of intense, maybe hurt feelings, and you maybe got frozen in a state of pain and frustration. But now there should be starting to be, hopefully, we're experiencing more flow. It's just at the right time, though. You're not behind. You're not. This isn't horrifically delayed. It's just at the right time. You're right at the right time here for this to start flowing. But it has been, something's been frozen in time for quite a while, some sort of grief and sorrow. So then in your inner landscape is the devil. So you are dealing with either addiction issues or some sort of bondage here, being stuck somewhere. This devil is talking about not being able to flow with our intuition, not being able to flow with our life and move through things, because we're either stuck in a pattern of addiction, or we're stuck in some sort of commitment, stuck in some sort of, not stuck in, commitments can be really beautiful, but there's a sense that of feeling not in control, maybe worried, and it's in your inner landscape. So it might be thoughts, a thought pattern that you have difficulty freeing yourself from, feeling controlled by something. You might be worried about being controlled. Maybe you're worried about being controlled by your emotions, or you're worried about some sort of addiction issue, or some sort of control issue, or some sort of being stuck somewhere, or there's just a sense of and their obsession. You could be worried about an obsession. Maybe that's why you froze your emotions in time here, because you were worried about this obsession. But you have some sort of hope, or maybe you want to be controlled. It's not unheard of. But there's some sort of obsession, or the devil is on your mind, some sort of addiction or obsession issue that you're worried about, or you could be worried about somebody else's addiction issue. That could be something that's on your mind that could have caused some damage to you in the past. It could be your own addiction issues that you're worried that if you let these emotions flow, how are you going to handle it? Are you going to need to go back to some sort of unhealthy addiction? So you have concerns about freedom, concerns about obsession, concerns about addiction going through your mind right now. In your environment, you have this reverse Queen of Swords. Because it's reversed, we're going to say she's a little bit of a bitch. So the Queen of Swords, normally, you have 2 queens here, one of emotions and one of swords. The Queen of Swords is normally, she knows what she thinks. She knows very clearly what she thinks. She's a very precise thinker. She communicates very clearly. She doesn't varnish what she's saying. So a lot of times this is a fine place to be in. Let's not waste time, finessing the truth, trying to make everything more palatable. Let's not waste time with a lack of clarity of thinking. But in the reverse, the Queen of Voices is basically a bitch. There might be some verbal abuse. This is a person, male or female, that says what they think very clearly, doesn't no worries about other people's feelings. They're not very concerned about other people's feelings at all. So someone here that's a bit of a jerk, a self-absorbed jerk, basically. And that's causing a problem for you. I mean, who doesn't that cause a problem for? It's very problematic. Those self-absorbed jerks. They may not view themselves as a self-absorbed jerk, but right now somebody's, maybe someone's overly harshly thinking too. So this could be overthinking or having unmerciful thinking or being a little bit harsh in our perspective and in the way we're seeing things and bringing that harshness. The Queen of Voices reverse is a pretty harsh entity, and it's usually a person, and they're a little bit too hardcore for the feelings, especially the feelings that you're going through right now. In your environment, you have Six of Inspiration. This is like a parade, a celebration. Somebody's been successful. Was it you? Was it somebody else? They were successful and they're getting a lot of praise and admiration for that success. Their success was their community's success, and there's a lot of joy and happiness around somebody's success here. And somebody was able to make something happen, bring something into fruition, and it's being celebrated and admired and appreciated, and it benefited the community. So that's what's going on around you. Your to-do list here is the moon. The moon is all about subconscious issues coming up for examination and to be revealed. So that's what we're doing. Subconscious issues coming up for examination to be revealed and to be talked about. This is something, we were talking about, show the world the real you. Well, here we've got the moon here. And this is a lot about revealing that your true feelings, revealing your subconscious and true feelings and talking about them and bringing them to the light and being very in touch with your own intuition. This Queen of Voices is very in touch with what she thinks, and she thinks some pretty harsh things, very in touch with what she feels. You in touch with your intuition, revealing things both to yourself and to others, bringing out the real you, and showing the world the real you. I mean, that might feel really unsafe with this entity around, unless this entity is you. Then you just kind of feel unsafe being yourself, I guess. But there is... There's revealing something, revealing the real you, revealing how you really feel about something, bringing it to light, bringing it out into the real world, dealing with those parts of yourself that can be tamed and those parts of yourself that will never be tamed. And then because we're headed into the Lovers, I'm going to go ahead and talk about how our hearts make decisions that are often illogical, outside the bounds of what's reasonable and what's... very illogical choices. But you're going to have to talk about this illogical choice. So now we have the Lovers. So we have Queen of Emotions here. We have a grief process. It's almost like you fell in love with someone and it didn't work out quite the way you thought, and you just got stuck in this sorrow and this grief. And now things are flowing and moving forward, and you need to talk about it. You need to talk about what happened, either with somebody else or with either the person you have these feelings for or with somebody else, but you need to do that. So here's where you're going, the Lovers card. You should have seen this coming. You're going to have to make a choice. You're going to have to make a decision about what fuels you. The Lovers card is always a question. It's a question of if we're going to go towards that which we love, or if we're going to act out of fear, out of conformity, doing what we're supposed to be doing what's logical, what makes sense, what we can explain at a party to strangers that ask us what we're doing with our lives, what our job is, or who we're with. We can explain it. It's all easy and it makes sense, and it fits into sort of the program that's already going on here on Earth and everybody else's expectations and ideas. And it's not very shocking or surprising. It's very logical. Or are we going to go with that just kind of crazy idea of what if I went towards what I loved? What if I did the thing that I loved? And that's what this is. This is this thing that you've loved for a very long time. You're already committed to it. You already have feelings for it. You already know what you want out of it. And you're being asked now, you're once you reveal to both yourself the truth and possibly looks like show the world the real you, you're going to have to reveal something that's going to be uncomfortable and you're not going to like it. But this is about that choice between what if I lived my life fueled by what I loved? What if all my movement was in life was towards something I loved, towards something that fed me and was better for me? What if all of my motion went in that direction? What if that's what fueled me and made me move forward and made me move from one job to another job, or made me move towards, what if you moved towards what brought you life? That's the question. And that's basically the whole question of life. What if we did that? What if we did that? What if we moved towards it? It might be a long journey. There's a lot of uncertainty in this path of heart and moving towards what you love. There's so much uncertainty. But this card promises that it's worth it. And you need to reveal something. You need to show the world the real you, because it's part of this decision that you're in the, I feel like you're in the middle of making. It's a chronic decision that needs to be made daily. But there's also some big decisions. And I feel like you're in the middle of a decision where you're being asked, who is the real you? And are you willing to continue going down a path towards what makes you happy and what brings you joy? So what we have here basically is being afraid of being trapped somewhere, being afraid of being stuck, but in the end revealing who you truly are to both yourself and being honest about that, and understanding there's always stuff you're not going to know, being comfortable with uncertainty, and getting comfortable with this path of heart, with this movement towards that which you love and that which brings you the greatest joy and makes you feel alive. All right, Gemini, I hope that was helpful. Whoa, wait. Maybe I was... Okay, what do we got here? From the Wild Kuan Yin. Okay, the strength of you. Ooh, I like this one. Are you doubting your ability to heal or recover? Ooh, yes, mixed with this, I think so. There is nothing that has fundamentally damaged your spirit, your will, or your heart, no matter how broken those parts of you may feel at times. They've only ever been broken to heal stronger. They have not been broken beyond repair and never will be. So, beautiful end to this, Gemini. I hope you have a wonderful, whatever time period it is, until I get back around to your reading again.